There are 10 ways to get indefinite leave to remain in the UK. We're going to cover them all in this live stream one by one. I'm Tom Bradford. I'm a lawyer based in the UK. I'll be very happy to assist you if you want help in applying for indefinite leave to remain. Now, there are fast and slow routes. Let's have a look at the fast ones. Now, the fast ones get you to indefinite leave to remain after 2 or 3 years. They are the Tier 1 investor route, the Tier 1 exceptional talent route, and the entrepreneur route or innovator visa. Now, the Tier 1 route, I've given some more detailed videos on this on my channel. That requires an investment of 2, 5 or 10 million to get you onto, at 2 million it's 5 years, at 10 million it's 2 years, and at 5 million it's 3 years. So that may not be of relevance to everyone. The exceptional talent route gets you indefinite leave to remain after 3 years. And the innovator visa, which of course I've covered in great detail in my other videos on this channel, gets you to indefinite leave to remain after 3 years. If you are on a Tier 1 entrepreneur visa, that those have been closed down for new applications. But if you are on a Tier 1 entrepreneur visa, there's also an accelerated route, for example, by creating 10 jobs. Now, what I'd say is that you don't automatically get indefinite leave to remain. You're eligible to apply after those periods, and there are certain conditions on you doing so. Now, let's just have a look at the slower routes, which are often less challenging. They do require 5 years in the UK, though. So this one is so Tier 1 investor, as I say, at 2 million. That gets you to indefinite leave to remain after 5 years. A Tier 1 exceptional promise will, rather than talent, will get you to indefinite leave to remain after 5 years. Tier 1 entrepreneur under the standard route. The Tier 2 intra-company transfer, that's if you applied under the rules before the 6th of April 2010, so it's no longer possible if you're applying afresh to get indefinite leave to remain on an intra-company transfer route. You can apply under the sole representative of an overseas business for UK Ancestry, or I've just put here other 5-year routes to settlement include the spouse, civil partner and unmarried partner. I just add that on Tier 1 intra-company transfer, of course, it's possible under Tier 2 general to get to indefinite leave to remain after 5 years. Those are the 10 main routes. Now, what you may ask, can you do if you're combining different types of leave? Now, I've just dealt with that here. So you can combine different immigration categories. It's a possibility to rely on time you spent on other categories to count towards your qualifying period. Now, Tier 2 General, for example, which I just mentioned, you can combine time spent in the Tier 2 General category with time spent as a Tier 1 migrant. Let's say if you're previously on the Tier 1 post-study work visa or Tier 1 graduate entrepreneur visa, or as a representative of an overseas business, to get to indefinite leave to remain after 5 years. Now, to apply for British citizenship after indefinite leave to remain, you'll be eligible to naturalise as a British citizen if you've held ILR for 12 months and spent 5 years in the UK. So basically in the UK, there's no fast-track route to British citizenship. You've always got to have your 5 years. But if you qualify under the 3-year, if you've got indefinite leave to remain after 3 years, then you'll be able to apply immediately at the 5th year to naturalise as a British citizen. Whereas if you've qualified for indefinite leave to remain after 5 years, then you'll have to wait a further 12 months before you can apply for to naturalise as a British citizen. In other words, at year 6. If you're married to or in a civil partnership with a British citizen, then you'll be eligible to naturalise as a British citizen as soon as you've been granted indefinite leave to remain and spent 3 years in the UK. So there's an exception there for family situations. And the residence requirements for British citizenship include no absences for more than 90 days in the last 12 months before your application. So you should bear that in mind in planning ahead. And if you're married to or in a civil partnership with a British citizen, the total number of absences during the whole 3-year period can't exceed 270 days. If you're not married to or in a civil partnership with a British citizen, the total number of absences during the 5-year period can't exceed 450 days. So that's in broad terms, you can't stay outside of the UK for more than 180 days in any 12-month period. Now let's just have a look in a bit more detail at the application and the 180-day rule. So all of the slow routes, if you like, the 5-year routes, prohibit you from spending more than 180 days outside of the UK. However, family migration routes do not have this rule at the ILR application stage, but absences would be taken into account when applying for British citizenship. So you can see on this infographic that ILR would be granted at year 5. And as for the infographic I've done here for the 3-year period, so it's a similar journey. So those are the key points. Those are the 10 ways in which you can get to indefinite leave to remain in the UK, or the 10 main ways. If you're considering your options, I'm going to be producing more videos on this topic, and check out my playlists as well for other relevant topics. Also, just click here for some other videos that I've done. Also, feel free to subscribe to this channel if you'd like to get more information on these subjects. Thanks, and bye for now.